People, and welcome to the Blue Steel Podcast Show. I'm your co-host LV Live, along with my co-host Jeff, and we coming at you with a quick hitter right now. Of course, the topic what everyone's been talking about is that boy Kapernick. But before we jump into it, please hit the like, share, subscribe button, that bell icon, and please continue to send us emails at bluesteelshow@gmail.com, bluesteelshow@gmail.com. But let's hop right into it. Jeff, what's going on with Kaepernick, brother?
Oh man, I'm really conflicted with this, man. A big part of me honestly doesn't even think he wants to play in the NFL, man. I kind of think he's doing this to push his cause, which, if that's what he really wants to do, that's great because he's standing for what he kneeled for is worthy of the cause, and what the issue really is, and what people who always want to make it not about, which continues to happen, which is brutality. The murdering and, of young men of color by the police, period. So let's not lose sight of what he really was standing or kneeling for or what his cause was. But beyond that, as far as this singular incident, I think he's making it really difficult for NFL team to bring him in, to be honest. You had everything set up. I mean, I do understand, like when you're trying to get a job and you don't own it, you gotta concede some things. Like you're never gonna be able to tell somebody like, yo, I want these 10 things or I'm out. They're gonna be like, we don't need you. NFL doesn't need Kaepernick. I'd like to see him get in the NFL so he can earn more money to do more positive things. I know he's getting a check from Nike, but NFL checks is gonna help him do even more for what he's standing for. He's just doing things to just be. He wore the Kunta Kinte shirt, for instance, which I didn't even see. I couldn't really see it when I saw the clips, but I read an article on that. He's already been in the NFL, in my opinion. He made, his girlfriend, and he made statements about Baltimore's owner and Ray Lewis, and then Miami wanted to bring him in. He wears a Fidel Castro shirt, which is a no-no. I mean, he's done some things where I think he's just trying to rattle the cage. I don't really think he wants to play anymore, but that's my opinion about it. Just kind of putting everything together. I don't think he really wants to play. I think he just wants to continue to push his cause, which is great. But just say you don't want to play no more, unless that's kind of keeps you in the spotlight and keeps what you're standing for going. That's kind of where I am with everything. What do you think?
Well said, Jeff. Well said. I mean, I'm like on both sides. I totally understand, the NFL stance, being the ownership, but I also understand his stance as well. The problem I feel with everything is that he's got to pretty much make a decision. If you want to play, you got to conform. That's what any job.
Yep.
You got to conform to the rules and the culture that comes with employment, right?
Right.
From dress codes, right, to language.
Absolutely.
To everything. So you got to conform. If you don't conform to the NFL with certain things, as you see, guys get fined, right? I think that he likes spectacles, man. You got to understand, this is probably the most publicity he's probably ever gotten his whole career.
Right.
He wasn't a big-time pick coming out of Nevada, if you remember correctly.
Right.
He kind of came... Jim Harbaugh pretty much discovered him in a lot of sense because he was pretty much Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He was running that San Francisco 49ers offense. They had them rolling. He kind of came out of nowhere. No one expected this. So I think he's getting a lot of publicity, and some people like the cameras, man. And you have to ask yourself, if you really want to play, then you got to conform. If you don't want to conform, then that means you don't want to play. So, he's got to decide what he wants to do. But doing all this extra stuff like you're stating, I don't really have an issue with the Kunta Kinte shirt. It's whatever. But to your point, even when he wore the Fidel Castro, it's like you're just trying to bring attention to certain things. It's no need to anymore. Everyone knows, everyone gets it. All the NFL wants to do is see, are you willing to conform, man? Look, we get it. We understand the rules. We know it's messed up. We know society. But look, this is the NFL. This is the Shield. Kind of like, are you willing to come in and just play football? That's it. Just play. Not really talk about a crime that happened in Chicago last week. right, we get it. There's crimes all over. But are you going to come in and play football or be a distraction? And some people say, be a distraction by just talking about social injustice. No, we get it. Everybody knows there's such social injustice, all over the world. We know that. But sometimes we just want you to play football, man. Yo, we're trying to make it to the playoffs. Can we focus on the playoffs? Nah, man, I got to talk about this issue that happened in Atlanta.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And the coach wants to put in this new offensive play. You know what I mean? And so that's you know what I'm saying. See, I'm going with it. So that's where he kind of like is kind of messing it up for himself, man. And believe it or not, if you notice, Jeff, the message that he was promoting, which was a great one, has gotten lost, Jeff.
Oh, it's been lost years ago. He got lost from the president, whatever you want. Yeah, President Trump. They hijacked it. Stephen A. says that all the time. They hijacked the issue.
Right. So it's kind of lost in a sense. So the question is, at the end of the day, like what you said, do you want to play football or you don't? If you want to conform, then you got to conform to the rules of the NFL, man. And believe it or not, they're not like you got to just shut up and play. Like guys are speaking out a little bit more. But man, listen, man, when you're trying to make it to the playoffs and guys are getting injured and you're just trying to, get your numbers up to where you can get a bonus in your paycheck, no one's thinking about the issues that are going on in Compton. No one's thinking about the issues that are going on in Brooklyn. Whatever inner city in the U.S. or whatever town. No one's thinking about that. Because you thinking about, yo, man, I got Patrick Mahomes this week.
Right.
So I mean, so that's my take, Jeff, man. I don't know if you agree. I mean, but that's just what. But that's just how I feel about old boy.
No, those are good points, man. Very good points. Ultimately, nobody really. I mean, I'll put it like this: do you want the headache of having him as a backup quarterback and having those things possibly coming up? Because you don't hear from a backup quarterback ever in the NFL. They hold the clipboard, they make good money, and they just play their role. One play away from getting in just like anybody else. But, I don't know if an owner is going to want to go through all the issues that could possibly happen. And if he's not willing to, like you said, use a great word conform, which we all got to do one way or another, then he's not going to play. Simple as that. And some of the other things he's done.
Right, and then Jeff, also too, the other dynamic too is this: the reporters. You know what they're gonna do, Jeff? They're gonna put him on the spot. You're gonna say, "Hey, listen." They're not gonna say, "Hey, Kaepernick, how did you feel about the game?" You know what I mean? What'd you think about it? How did you feel? They're gonna say, "Hey, man, what'd you think about that issue that happened down there in Louisiana where the kid got shot? What do you think about that, Kaepernick?" Right? Is he gonna say, "Hey, listen, man, I don't really know much about it. I'll look into it or whatever. But right now, you want to ask me questions about the game? Let's talk about the game." Is he going to do that? No, he's going to run with it. The NFL, the black man, we don't do this. You don't do that. And you know what? The white man don't do this neither. And you know what? And you know what? And you know what? I don't mean to sound crazy, but that's like what he does. And the media baits him to pretty much do those things. And a lot of times, certain dudes, they just want to kind of fall back and be like, yo, man, look, I'll look into something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll, look into whatever issues are going on down there. I'll see if maybe, if I can send anything to the kid's family or something, whatever. But right now, I just want to focus on next week's game. That's what they want to hear.
Well, yeah, I mean, you about it. A lot of times he doesn't. I don't even remember the last time I've actually heard him speak publicly. Besides the other day, but ultimately they don't want the backup quarterback doesn't need to be saying anything because he's a backup quarterback. Nobody really cares, to be honest. So it's just a matter of if they're not asking him, they're going to be asking the coach.
Right.
The quarterback is starting. It's a lot of does somebody want to take on all that? And
no, Jeff, I totally agree with you. But what I'm saying is that he's going to be clickbait, Jeff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, the only reason I said that because I don't ever see. Oh yeah, definitely, but you don't really see the actual backup quarterback being spoken to. But if they're in the locker room, they're gonna speak to him. So I get what you're saying. It's just I don't think anybody's gonna be bothered. Nobody wants to be bothered with that.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, man, great show, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So listen, people, please continue to hit up the LV Live, JB Presents, Blue Steel, Locker Room Talk. Please hit us up. Continue on that. Jeff's been doing a great job of banging out stuff, putting that stuff out there for you guys to look at and for you guys to chime in on. And once again, all those statements that you have from the Locker Room Talk, you can swing that over to bluesteelshow@gmail.com, bluesteelshow@gmail.com, and me and Jeff would definitely try to answer it and kind of put it on the show, guys.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the support and love. We'll keep coming with you, coming at you.
Absolutely. All right, my man. So I'm going to holler at you, brother.
All right, later.
All right, later.